Testing. Everything seems to be working okay. Welcome back to my photography channel. It's been a while since I did my last video about LX3 and LX5 cameras. Life been quite hectic lately. It's been a lot of work and a lot of life just in general being hectic. First of all, I just want to say thank you to those people that are watching this channel. I didn't believe people would be interested in watching the channel as much as they have, at least. It's pretty humbling, to be honest, and I didn't expect any people at all, maybe one or two people, to be interested in the content I do. And while it wasn't my main purpose for making this channel and creating the videos, it's actually a lot of fun and a bit humbling to see people leaving comments and liking the videos that I make. And it was just sort of a way to showcase my work in the beginning. But now it has become, well, it's giving me a little bit more of motivation to continue making other kinds of videos as well. So thank you for that. And I hope you keep watching and like what I do. Thank you. And just as a timestamp, today is Midsummer's Eve here in Sweden, which is kind of a big deal. It's all about raising a huge pole full of flowers and dancing little frogs around it. And it sounds weird, and it does look quite weird as well. I'm actually going out to shoot that event in a few hours, and I'm gonna bring some of this gear that I'm gonna talk to you about with me to that event. Some of the gear is analog related, and a few additions to my gearbox or toolbox has to do with my digital cameras as well. So stay tuned and I'll update you about that. So yes, let's get into a quick summary about some of the newly acquired gear that has impacted my photography the last couple of months. The first thing being, and worth mentioning, would be a couple of viewfinders for my LX5 and LX3 cameras. The first one I'm showing here is the optical viewfinder, and the second one I'll show you is an electronic viewfinder. The optical viewfinder fits both LX3 and LX5 cameras, while the electronic viewfinder I got only fits the LX5 camera. And of course the optical viewfinder only gives you the frame lines for the wide angle, while the electronic viewfinder will give you all the important information you need to shoot as well. I think both of these viewfinders are very handy for anyone with an LX3 or LX5. Very good to have in bright condition when you're out shooting and can't see what's on the LCD screen in the back. Also so small, and I think look pretty good on the cameras as well. And so to the second thing worth mentioning on this summary of newly acquired gear. That would be the beautiful Pentax 6.7 plus lenses. And I got myself the 105mm f2.4, that renowned portrait lens for the Pentax 6.7. And also the 55mm f4, very good landscape lens. I also ordered this specially designed wooden grip that you put on the right side of the Pentax 6.7. Very much needed when you hand hold this beast of a camera for longer periods of time. I also had to order this 3D printed wheel controlling the shutter speeds on the Pentax 6.7, as mine was missing that to begin with. And also this beautiful blue strap from Peak Design, designed for carrying especially heavy cameras, which is much needed for this beast of a camera. And from a friend of mine, I got these extension tubes. Very handy to be able to take some more close-up portraits with the Pentax 6.7. And to the last thing on this list, yes, it's another camera bag. We always need a new reason to get a new camera bag, right? So this time around, I really needed a bag to be able to pack my Pentax 6.7. And all the other bags I had before that didn't fit the purpose at all. I needed something practical and large enough to open up on top to be able to stuff my Pentax 6.7 down there. And the Temba Fulton version 2 14-liter backpack fit that bill perfectly. I will tell you a little bit more in detail about that camera bag soon. And so after that brief summary of newly acquired gear, this little section will be about the gear I have used lately and use currently and love using. And no more fitting to start this little lineup than my trusted companion, the Leica M2. Here the M2 together with the beautiful 50mm f2 Summicron rigid lens. A lens I just love using together with the M2. I got it newly serviced as well a couple of months back, just to make sure I have it with me many years ahead. I sometimes also use the M2 together with the Voigtlander 35mm f1.4, but the Summicron 50 rigid lens is the lens that I use the most together with the M2, and one of the big reasons are the images coming out of that combo together. It's just a fantastic combo to use. So just without further ado, let's look at some of the images that I created with the M2 together with the Summicron 50 rigid lens the last couple of months.
Look around where you are. See my love shine like the stars. Take a breath where you stand. I'm forever here to hold your hand. Oh, across the sky won't outshine my love for you. Fire in the dark with a blinding light won't outshine my love for you. Every hour, every day, every step.
And the next one out is, yes, you guessed it, the mighty Pentax 6.7, and not the Pentax 17, of course, but you already know that, so yeah. And also, unlike the Pentax 17, this is not a new camera, of course, but a legend of a camera. So just before acquiring the Pentax 6.7, I was at some sort of crossroads when it came to acquiring photography gear, as my lovely Rolleiflex 75T medium format camera was acting up at the moment, and I couldn't get that one service. So I was looking around for a nice medium format camera. Pentax as a brand of film cameras weren't new to me, of course. I had used the Pentax Spotmatic and Pentax LX and so on. And I already knew about the legendary reputation the Pentax 6.7 had in medium format circles. so Pentax wasn't new for me, and I loved those Takumar lenses I used on the Spotmatic and Alex, for example. My only hesitation to get the Pentax 6.7 was always the weight. Yeah, the weight of this camera is quite substantial, and it feels like if you're getting the Pentax 6.7, it's quite a commitment, and you have to use it or be able to use it, or it will just be a shelf queen after a while. I already knew that the Pentax 6.7 was an amazing camera, and I had read so many reviews and seen so many reviews on YouTube touting that camera and sort of hyping it up to be one of the best portrait photography cameras ever, especially together with the 105 f2.4 lens that just created some extra kind of magic for a portrait photographer. And although my back isn't very happy about my decision, I got the Pentax 6.7 in the end, and I'm so happy that I did. I made a commitment to try and take this camera as much as I could with me, and while I can't take it every time I'm out street shooting, for example, I have used it a lot. And now, without further ado, let's look at some of the images that I've created together with the Pentax 6.7 thus far.
Two kids, two runaways, lost in the backbeat of a heartbreak. What does it matter anyway if we wanna leave behind all our mistakes? Oh, your eyes, they tell the truth. Oh, the line from me to you, we know it's tangled up in blue. What if we unravel? We could go anywhere, we'll get there soon, we'll get there soon. We could be any place, we'll get there soon, we'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. Two lights up ahead, I heard somewhere all the stars are already there. So I don't hesitate, burying my doubts with all our somedays. Laying up there on the roof, or in some passenger view. I know I never wanna lose anywhere with you. We could go anywhere, we'll get there soon, we'll get there soon. We could be any place, we'll get there soon, we'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. We'll get there soon.
The Rolleiflex 75T. Now, what can I say about this magnificent camera that I haven't already said in earlier videos? Well, I can say it's probably the camera that I used consistently more than any other camera over time. So when I bought the Rolleiflex 75T, it was newly serviced, and I had no issues or problems with it the coming years. It was only one harsh, really cold Swedish winter that finally put an end to the Rolleiflex. I couldn't advance the film any longer, and the lever just got stuck. So I was without my beloved Rolleiflex for quite some time after it broke down. But by the stroke of luck or magic or some higher power or something else, I don't know what, I just took it down from my shelf one day and started playing with the advance lever once it got warm here in Sweden. And it just worked, like magic. And it started working just about the right time here in Sweden. It was late spring and just before summertime, so I just bought a bunch of nice color film and started to use it more than ever before. So while I prattle on here about my newborn or reborn Rolleiflex, I will let a little slideshow roll here in the background, taking you through the journey from the time it broke down in the harsh, cold Swedish winter until the warmer weather and up until now. I think one of the biggest reasons for me consistently wanted to take up this camera again and again all the time and keep using it is the fun factor of using this camera. It just brings a smile to everyone around you when you're using it, and it doesn't feel threatening like some other gear that you bring with you can. And the fact that it's so small and portable, being a medium format camera, that you can actually bring this little fella in your bag together with another camera and it won't break your back. And that makes a huge difference when you're out street shooting, for example. And you also have those easy to use, fun accessories for the Rolleiflex, like the close-up kits Rolleiflex 1, 2 and 3, and also some filters that you can use on the Rolleiflex. Makes it so much more versatile. So another great benefit with the Rolleiflex is the waist level viewfinder. And as a street photographer, that can be very, very important, at least for me. Not being a shy person per se, but I'm not the kind of photographer that likes to invade people's privacy or just snap a picture and walk up to them. And if they do notice you taking their picture, most of the time, or at least in my experience, you get a smile back or maybe a nice comment about the old nice looking camera instead. The Rolleiflex really is one of my favorite cameras ever, and it suits my style of street photography and photography in general a lot. I love the look of it, the vintage feel of the camera, and I love the pictures that I take with the Rolleiflex. But I will also use those two other cameras, the Pentax 6.7 and the Leica M2 a lot during this summer, along with all the nice film that I bought and have in my fridge. So I was actually going to fit 3 more cameras into this video, but it's turning out to be quite long, and therefore I will make another update video in the near future concerning those 3 cameras. Those are 3 digital cameras that I use and have used lately a lot too. But more on that in the near future. Thank you and bye bye.